The following program is sponsored by Friends of Life Outreach International. How would you like to return to the healthy, fit, and vibrant life you enjoyed in your 20s?
I had one lady with fibromyalgia. I noticed she wasn't sleeping. What did I put her on? Micronized progesterone, 200 milligrams. I optimized her testosterone, then same with her thyroid. Her thyroid was sluggish, so I put on a little thyroid. Within 3 months, pains were gone. She said, that's the first time I've had a hug in 25 years.
Wow.
Learn how to optimize your hormones. Next.
You want to welcome everybody?
Thank you so much for joining us on Life Today. I'm Betty, and this is James, and we're going to have a little lesson here today.
Yeah, Dr. Don Colbert's back. Go ahead and welcome Dr. Colbert. Will you, Don? Good to see you. Okay, now listen to me. Here's what we were talking about, and Doc came here, and he shared it, and our executive producer's wife gave this book that he talked about to Betty. And we love Dr. Colbert. We've been good friends for a long time. We believe people need to be healthy because this body is a temple of God. But I never could control my eating because I couldn't control my appetite. And this changed everything for us. I lost 25 pounds in just a matter of months and kept it off, and we'll keep it off by the grace of God. I know you say, well, we'll see you next year about this time. You will, okay? God willing, unless we're up here. And anyway, it changed our life. Betty said she could never lose weight. She'd try everything and lose weight. And she's always been very much disciplined. She started this, and the girl that would never go near a scale actually got where she liked to go with the scale. Because every time it talked to her, it said something she wanted to hear rather than she didn't want to hear. I think Betty's lost probably more than 20 pounds, and you say, well, she didn't need to lose. Well, her body said otherwise when she got healthy. As Dr. Colbert says, she started burning her own fat, her own belly fat's where it starts. And it's amazing what happens. This could save your life. So go lifetoday.org and go back and watch the program. We talked about it, okay? But now he's here to talk about the hormone zone. This was the keto zone. This is how you change to where you're using your own body fat for energy rather than all the sugar and all the other stuff that just shuts your system down and damages us. The hormone zone, you say, well, I guess you're going to talk about sex. Well, no, we're not, or Betty would have already left, she said. But the deal is that if our hormones, see, I believe that a healthy sex life helps us stay healthy. Would that be true, Doctor?
Absolutely.
It is true. It contributes to the whole system, right?
It does.
Okay, what is the big deal that you feel like you want everybody to hear? Because it's like if they get this, everything's going to be better in their life, including their sex life, which is where most people think they're. And honestly, the two of us, that's not mostly where we're thinking. We mostly want to help people because we love people and we love life. So you're telling me, because you said it to me, this helps everything, and it doesn't have to be drug-type help. It can be natural help, the way it would be if we weren't having so much in our system that shouldn't possibly be there.
An interesting thing happens to women. Once they reach 40, the hormones start to go down, decrease, starting with testosterone, then 5 years later, progesterone, then 5 years later, estrogen, then all the hormones pretty much bottom out. In men, it starts around age 50. And then also you add to that low thyroid or sluggish thyroid function. So as we age, so many people get tired. They have brain fog. They have no energy, vigor. They start to gain belly fat. They start to get grumpy and irritable and depressed. And then they start developing disease, and they go to their doctor, their cholesterol goes up, they get on a statin drug, which lowers their testosterone even more. And then with all these symptoms, they're being treated with medications, when in reality, usually all they need is to optimize their hormone function with bioidentical hormones or to use natural supplements to help balance their hormones when they're younger, and then that brings their hormone levels up to an optimized level to a 25-year-old person's hormones.
Oh.
And then all of a sudden you start to reverse disease and or prevent disease. For example, when I get the men's testosterone up to around 750, 800, all of a sudden insulin resistance starts to go. Their body starts to lower, the blood sugar starts to be lowered. You add that to the keto zone and you get a huge beneficial effect. Also, what happens, it protects the brain. Testosterone is especially protective to the brain. It also increases muscle mass. As we age, our muscles start to melt away because of suboptimal testosterone levels, and we start to develop what we call sarcopenia, frailty, or feebleness. You've seen people in their late 70s, 80s, 90s. They get real feeble, frail, and then they fracture a hip, and what happens? They end up in a nursing home. I tell patients the best nursing home insurance to keep you out of a nursing home is to get your testosterone level optimized to that of a young person.
Wow.
And we do that with either creams. We have some new creams that work amazing that you put behind your legs, and women say, does that mean I'm going to get a beard? No, you're not. Okay, or some people need a little higher. Now, we reverse osteoporosis with this without the bisphosphonate meds. It starts to build muscle. It starts to build bone. It protects the brain. Women, it protects your breast. And it also helps so many disease processes. And then add that with the suboptimal thyroid. People say, well, how do you know my thyroid's suboptimal? I went to my doctor, he checked my TSH and it's normal. He said my thyroid's normal, but I've got cold hands, cold feet. I take my temperature and it's less than 98. That's your sign. If your temperature is less than 98, you got low thyroid, most likely. But cold hands, cold feet, that's your sign. You're tired, not just tired. They say, I'm bone tired. And then your hair starts falling out, women especially, and then your hair gets wispy and thin. Then you lose your lateral part of your eyebrow. And then your skin dries out. You say, what's going on? My skin's dry. My elbows and knees are dry. My hands and feet are dry. And so all of these weird symptoms, you go to your doctor and he said, oh, let's just give you a regular medicine to treat this and this symptom, this symptom.
Does it? No.
It doesn't work. But what we do is we check the test that needs to be checked, your free T3. And then we put you on not the synthetic thyroid, we put you on the natural desiccated thyroid. That's the closest thing to your own thyroid. As we age, because we're inundated, everyone, with hormone disrupting chemicals. It's in our food, it's in our water. When you get credit card receipts, you get that bisphenol A, and that's a hormone disruptor. It's like estrogen, men. Who wants to be estrogenized? We are estrogenizing our men from all these hormone disruptors, especially phthalates from plastics, especially bisphenol A that's in our canned foods. 75% of canned food contains bisphenol A. It's an atrazine, which is a common added that's commonly in our drinking water. Atrazine is similar to Roundup. It's a weed killer. But what it does, it feminizes men. It turns male frogs into female frogs. Who wants to be like that? So as we're getting older, men are producing more estrogen, less testosterone. They're developing man boobs. They're developing They cry a lot. They're super emotional. Oh, no, that's not you, James. That's the Spirit of God on you. Praise God. They're losing their muscle. They're gaining belly fat, and they're feeling horrible. They got brain fog. They're walking around in a fog, and they're grumpy and irritable.
You know what I want? Let's just, how about we take note? He hadn't talked about sex. And every time you hear about testosterone or hormones, that's where people go. And anybody that's trying to sell you something there, they're talking about hormones, testosterone, or not. But you touched on it. You said that's reality. It's supposed to be healthy. But that's not where you went.
Yes.
Are you a real medical doctor?
Well, I use testosterone every day.
Do you have a medical degree?
Yes, absolutely.
We're not talking to somebody that doesn't have a medical degree.
I'm a medical doctor, and let me tell you something. I have found that if I can treat these hormones with bioidentical hormones, then what I do commonly, we start preventing disease and reversing disease. Add to that the keto zone diet and a few key anti-inflammatory nutrients and vitamin D. It's amazing how simple it is.
Right.
It's not expensive. When you get the bioidentical hormones and optimize them, you don't need that many supplements. So that's what I like to put my patients on, natural things that cause no harm.
Is this in here some of these different things that contribute along with the hormones? Do you talk about some of these?
Yes, I talk about some of the key nutrients people need. Yes.
Okay, Okay, so if someone got the book, would it be like hearing from you if they came in and sat down and had a lengthy time to go over all this? So it's like you're trying to save yourself all these hours and hours and hours by seeing thousands and thousands of people and giving them the same counsel and the same advice and the same direction you would give them if they came to see you for weeks.
Absolutely, James. I've been practicing prescribing bioidentical hormones now for approximately 30 years. And this is the knowledge I have gleaned over 30 years of practicing medicine. I used to simply balance the hormones. Now I upped it a notch. I optimize the hormones. I talk about testosterone in men and women. Women need testosterone just as much as men.
And they won't grow a beard.
They will not. It'll save your marriage. I tell women and men, do not get divorced until we balance and optimize your hormones, especially testosterone. And we can do it with creams, shots, pellets. It doesn't matter. I can do it now with creams, which is amazing. Also, I talk about estrogen. Estrogen was vilified in 2002 in the Women's Health Initiative, and from that point on, the majority of doctors quit prescribing estrogen. And from that point, one study found that over 91,000 women died prematurely from osteoporotic fractures and other things over a 10-year period when those hormones would decede by most doctors. But again, I talk about the problems with the study, how you shouldn't be concerned, what to look for, because some estrogen is okay provided you don't have breast cancer. I also talk about progesterone. Progesterone is one of the most amazing hormones for women, but not synthetic. It has to be the natural bioidentical micronized progesterone. I had one lady with fibromyalgia, hadn't been hugged for 25 years. She came to see me. I noticed she wasn't sleeping. What did I put her on? Micronized progesterone, 200 milligrams. I optimized her testosterone. I checked it, optimized it. Then same with her thyroid. Her thyroid was sluggish, so I put on a little thyroid. Within 3 months, pains were gone. She said, that's the first time I've had a hug in 25 years. Wow. Just by optimizing her hormones, getting her sleeping again. It shut off that pain response. These are powerful natural anti-inflammatories. I talk about adrenal hormones. Adrenal hormones are so important, but doctors never check adrenal hormones. And so again, we've had patients here I've treated, we balance their adrenals, and wow, but now we have other things we use. Testosterone is one of the best ways to balance the adrenal hormones.
You keep coming back to this, and he's not talking about sex. Can you please get that into your head? There's nothing wrong with sex, nothing wrong with great sex. God makes everything great. So what he did, if it's good, it's great, okay? He didn't make something bad. He made some great
That's
stuff.
right.
But
Amen.
we're not talking about that.
That's right.
Everything you're talking about is helping the entire body.
Absolutely.
It helps all the organs in the body.
When we optimize these hormones, it's amazing how people are able to come off medications. Now, I don't just take them off all at once. I'm able to gradually wean them off many of their medications along with the ketogene diet and a few key anti-inflammatory nutrients. It's that simple. But also talk about growth hormone. I talk about thyroid hormone. Thyroid is so important. So many people, as many as 40% of the population, have suboptimal or low thyroid.
And what is the hormone there? What is the tablet or whatever the hormone?
It's natural desiccated thyroid. It works amazing.
What is that? Is that a tablet?
It's a tablet. Oil? You can take it sublingual or you can take it in a tab and swallow it. I take it myself. Now, years ago, I didn't think I had low thyroid, but I started developing cold hands, cold feet. I started having just fatigue, bone tired. I was so tired. Then I finally checked my free T3, and it was 2.5. To optimize that's the active form of thyroid. I then optimized it, brought it up to 4.0. My energy returned. The cold hands, cold feet went away, and it literally, I said, why did I do this before? I didn't know. I'm sharing information that most doctors don't know. Unfortunately, I didn't know this, but that was a few years ago. Now I take the the natural desiccated thyroid. My wife, same problem. This is one of the reasons why she was able to lose the weight, because I boosted her thyroid with the natural desiccated thyroid. And so again, a lot of people have a normal thyroid test, TSH, but when you dig a little deeper, run some other tests, do a reverse T3, do a free T3, do thyroid autoantibodies to make sure they don't have Hashimoto's thyroiditis, which is
Where are they, you're
autoimmune
saying, do
thyroiditis.
all these, but where in the world is the average person going to do all that?
I describe it in the book, where to go. What to ask your doctor for. You can ask him for these tests, and he
Will
can do it.
doctors cooperate? Do they think you're just some kind of a nutrition guy that doesn't understand the importance of all the pharmaceutical drugs to put everybody on?
Yes, now that is the case in some, yes. But I put different organizations of doctors that are open-minded that actually endorse what I do. So they can contact these, the anti-aging doctors, the age management doctors, and different organizations that have thousands of doctors throughout the country that they can go and see.
Well, there's no, let me ask you, because we're both 75.
She admitted that. She must be taking some hormone stuff.
Yes, no, there's no age limit.
Truth's truth.
I
There's
have
no age
little
limit,
90-year-old women on testosterone, either cream, injection, or pellets. And this one little 90-year-old woman comes to see me every 3 months, and the daughter brings her in, the daughter who's 60-something brings her in, and say, when her pellets run out, she just like a little Energizer bunny when she's on the pellets, but when she runs out, she just sits all the time. So I said, well, let's get her pellets in. I checked her levels. I said, sure enough, her pellets are gone. Let's put her pellets in, because she forgets to take her medicine. So I just put the pellet in, give it to her every 3 to 4 months, and she's like the Energizer bunny on the pellets.
Y'all like this, doctor. You appreciate somebody to come in, talk to us like this. And the book is available, and it's in the bookstores. You can get it from Amazon or any of the other online books, and they got them in bookstores.
Yes.
And I think did Charisma.
And drcolbert.com. Yes, Charisma did that book.
Did
yes.
that. Steve, thank you.
Yes.
Strang, thank you, buddy.
Amen.
And Doc, I mean, you know, I think sometimes, and I'm so grateful for everything the scientists and pharmaceutical companies have done to help us. Sometimes you can actually get so big you can get in the way. Sometimes you make people depend on just something make you feel better without making you better.
Yes.
I feel like you're talking about
Get to the
better.
root. We're
Not
getting
just
to the root.
feeling better, get to the root. And I listen, you know how much we love you and appreciate you.
Praise, that's
we thank you,
likewise,
and Mary,
you know.
thank you for
Yes,
the
well,
prayer
thank you.
that she leads the prayer
Amen.
council. It's great. What's
Amen.
it called? Her prayer website? What's it called?
Okay, it's Nation Builders.
It's a prayer group. I want you to know that from the bottom of our heart, we appreciate your friendship. We appreciate what you're doing for people. And if you didn't hear the program yesterday, get it. This in so many ways, you say, has changed our life.
Absolutely.
It's just hard to believe we can enjoy eating right all the time. We don't feel like we're being punished. You know, we don't feel like we're in some kind of a boot camp. We just it's just a way to eat, and it's just amazing. You feel good, and it's good food. It's not bad food. And then to find out about the Hormone Zone, you know, we're liable to have you back on after we've had the opportunity to know all this. We have the biggest smile. We like to be the happiest energized bunnies you've ever seen.
So just like Moses, here's Moses at 120. It says his eyesight was not dim, nor his natural strength abated. He climbed Mount Nebo, strong.
I'm for all of that. Would you just say thanks to Don Colbert, Dr. Colbert? What a blessing. Don, you're a blessing. Don, and you know what we do, because I know you've helped us.
Amen.
We love to give people what they need,
Praise
and
God.
especially clean water, because
Amen.
isn't that the perfect
Amen.
cure
Absolutely.
when you have nothing but disease-ridden, contaminated water?
It's one of my 7 pillars of health.
It just works. When you have nothing but contaminated water, you're sunk. We can give them the miracle. This is a life-giving miracle. I want you to listen, just bear witness with what this woman is saying to you. Just listen to her and know, listen to me. Right now today, right where you are. Now we're hoping we help you experience a miracle in your own life. We've tried to share that even when we talk about learning to eat. So much more than a diet. We want to help you. But look at this. Today, you're the miracle that everyone longs for in the very area that you're going to see addressed. You are that miracle. Watch closely.
Maria, I know it's very difficult to talk about these things. I know you're heartbroken, and I'm sorry I can't do anything today to change that. But we want to share your story back with people who want to help. Can you tell me about that?
Twarumvise ko mwabuze umwuzukuru
yakase umwuzukuru wenyine ahubwo nitiranya akababaro kanini nabuze abuzukuru 3 n'umuhungu wanjye mutoyi yaravyaye 3 nyine bakavyimbagira amata mu buda bukavyimba tukibaza ati ni isano bariye bagacaza mu kutuvuga ngo nitubine amayani ngo ni isano bariye bakavamwo bapfa mu mwaka umwe mbuze abantu 4 bose aha numva umenga sinokwicara naho abantu bari ngaca nibuka uwo se wabona ukuntu iyo yava gutembera hose yazambaza ngo mutamakazi ngo uracahema yo nca numva mbuze amahoro ngaza mu kwiyambariza ubwonye canke haruguru nkese kuzura iyo bidaswe gatatu bugira kanatse aravuga ngo muranderera ndapfuye uyu mutayi niwe yapfuye apfana n'abana hasigaye umuhungu mukuru niko tuvamo niko dutekesa kandi niko atuma kuko atakundi twobigira nta yandi twoyakura.
Our goal is to bring clean water to this village so that your 2 grandchildren that are still with you will survive.
Murakoze.
Well, grandmother, great-grandmother, what do you say to our viewers? I just, there one moment she said, I just want to go be with them. And I know with the daughter in heaven, we could say, Robin, we're going to be there, sweetheart. But I know you would say, Mom and Dad, stay there and make sure everybody can get here. And you'd say, keep helping people, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. And how can your heart not hurt along with this mother and this grandmother that has 2 grandchildren left, and she so dearly wants to keep them alive. She's lost most of her family. How can we not want to reach out and help this mother and grandmother? Let's give them the water they need. That's a very simple solution, but very difficult for them to find that solution without our help. They can't. So please join with us and let's drill the water well so that we can save these children's lives.
I pray, dear God, that everyone who can help will do so. In Jesus' name. We've drilled 6,000 wells. You who watch Life Today. But she needs a well. And we found hundreds of other areas that the missionaries have showed us just like that. Just like what you saw. And the situation's the same. And we have an absolute 100% perfect cure. We can't walk in and cure cancer everywhere. I think that's coming. I honestly believe we're going to learn a lot. Matter of fact, we'll talk some this week about how we actually find health miraculously, just with wisdom. But we can cure this problem, and we can do it immediately. We can drill a well. So I'm asking you, let's start. We've already found and located and started on 200 wells. They're still $4,800 a piece. I don't know how long that's going to stay there. But could you give a well? Could you give half a well? Because let's say 4,800. What about 24 or 12? And by the way, if you give the 12 or the 2,400, you immediately say, God, here's my 1,200. Please raise up 3 more, and we'll have a well. Here's my 2,400. Lord, raise up somebody who can do this. It's at the level that God has blessed you that out of that blessing, you're able to reach out and touch others. Keep this in mind. The majority of the income for drilling wells comes from people who give $48. And when you break that out, we found that average is giving 10 people water the rest of their life. 144 gives 30 people. There's a level at which everyone can participate. We have some beautiful gifts to send you. You're going to love it. Praying grace. Boy, I'm telling you, talk about a devotional, a prayer devotional. This will bless you. And I think you're going to like the tumbler, hot or cold. And the beautiful bronze that we have, and boy, do I love this, because I feel like a shepherd, the Lord, holds me. Here's a shepherd holding a little lamb. That's how we reach out. You know what? We send these gifts to you to just simply say, we want to bless you and say thank you because you've blessed others. And they become a conversation piece. People ask you, where'd you get that? And then you can encourage them to give somebody some water. Would you go online right now or dial that number, take your bank card and use it like a check and make the gift God puts on your heart? Please, right now, just take the time to do it now. And thank you so much.
Today, a mother living in extreme poverty will do the unthinkable. Give her children dirty, disease-filled water that she knows could kill them. With no other choice, what's a mother to do? With your help, clean water is on the way. Mission Water for Life provides a way for parents to save the lives of their children, to offer them a bright future free from the fear of death. With your gift today, you can help drill and establish the first 200 water wells of the year. Your gift of $24 will help provide clean water for 5 children. A gift of $48 will help provide for 10. $72 will provide for 15, and $144 will help provide life-giving water for 30 people for a lifetime. With your gift, we'll send you the Praying Grace 55-Day Devotional. This new devotional will help you renew your mind to the realities of God's grace and help you pray powerful grace-based prayers for each day. With your gift of $100 or more, request the Praying Grace Tumbler. This reusable 16-ounce container is constructed with insulated stainless steel, perfect for hot or cold beverages. Finally, please consider a gift of $1,200 to help provide water for 250 people, or a gift of $4,800 to help sponsor a complete well. And you may request the beautiful new commemorative bronze sculpture, Safe in the Shepherd's Arms. Please call, write, or make your gift online.
You know, this beautiful tumbler, Betty says she just loves it. It's beautiful.
I think it's
I wish
great.
they could all hold it. It feels
It's
so
really
good.
nice.
It's hot or cold.
Size for a woman.
Yeah, just right. Matches your blouse, too.
It does.
But yeah, we want you to get it because it's. I am praying grace, and that's what we're pouring out. The devotional study guide on grace will be such a blessing to you. Dr. Colbert's book, you can get it online, get it at the bookstores. You help us give someone water, and you want this book, just ask for it. We'll send it to you. Thank you for being someone's miracle today. Join Betty and me in saying thanks again to Dr. Colbert. Would you, all of you, let's just thank you. Thank you for what you share. And just know you changed a lot of lives today. Thank all of you for watching Life Today. Tell your friends to watch, and thank you for helping us give life today. Amen.
Sometimes God will take you to prison to set you free.
The scars of Christ meet our brokenness. Sheila Walsh, tomorrow. Life Today is made possible by the supporters of Life Outreach International. Your gift will be used exclusively for the exempt purposes of life. The ministry features specific outreaches as examples of the programs it supports and conducts. Gifts are considered to be without restriction as to use unless explicitly stipulated by the donor. The ministry is a member of the ECFA.